Hi guys, I hope you're well. I'm fully back on and I apologize for my long absence. As you know, and some of you following me, I was severely sick in 2022, 2023. I'm now fully recovered, and my key message is you can heal it as well. It just needs time. You need to look into dedicated topics, approaches, but you can definitely heal. That's my key message, my personal experience, and my opinion. I haven't been posting in a long time. I've had some really other intense restructuring in my life, leaving Germany. I have another channel getting quite some attentions, criticizing systems, looking at incentives and so on. Check it out if it might be interesting to you. Bottom message from me is back to full health, and I'm planning to do consistent updates here again. Before I'm going into the details of what you can do, how approach, you must think, I have been obsessed after my diseases and classified. I will get into all the details. Studying cancer, changes in cell structures, whatever sort of medical information on PubMed, reading tons of articles and so on. I have so much knowledge now, and especially experience in my brain, in my head, that I would like to share with you. But I also need to give a clear disclaimer at this stage. I'm not a doctor or a professional in that field. I'm just sharing my personal experience after nearly dying. I was diagnosed with tons of things: long COVID, Epstein-Barr, heavy in the nervous system, borreliosis, Lyme, tons of things, being psychotic, having psychological issues, whatever. I mean, doctors, especially in the public health systems, will blame it on you however they can and want. How I got out of this is by self-evidencing, self-educating myself, and just trial and error. Consistency beats perfection. Just consistent small steps. And I would like to share that with you now, my lived experience. So again, don't take this as any actionable legal, medical advice whatsoever. This is just my lived and compressed experience of usable insights that I basically just want to share. My key message is you can heal, but healing requires understanding. Root cause is bigger and more important than symptom management. Most people treat symptoms and not origin. And sorry, I have to deviate here sometimes because I have so many thoughts and things to tell you. That's why I hope this video is not getting too intense. And of course, I have a little structure here of points, of bullet points that I want to explain to you and definitely deliver to you. Before I explain what to do, you need to understand how our system, how our modern life works in the medical, in the, let's say, public or private healthcare sector. Especially here, and obviously I cannot speak for, this is just my lived experience. Here from Europe, and health systems already and doctors' quality of medical services deviate substantially where you live, where you originate from, if you're in the city, outside the city, more locally, whatever. Differences, obviously. Here, at least in Germany, the public health system, and I think this also applies for a great extent, definitely for Europe and maybe the Western cultures, the health system is optimized for symptom treatment, standardization, speed. It's not optimized. We are not there yet for complex chronic diseases, multi-factor root causes, prevention. Our medical system today is reactive, not proactive. Read the book, and here I don't get sponsors or anything. Read the book from Peter Attia, Outlive or something like this. He perfectly, beautifully describes it, that we are very outdated thinking. Our whole healthcare system is reactive, as I said, not looking into the future, not looking at the underlying causes. And I mean, for me, when I was really sick, first I was blaming the doctors, our healthcare system, because I didn't understand it. But to put it in plain words, here at least in Germany, in Europe, in the Western world to some great extent, doctors are not getting paid, incentivized by the system to look into the deeper issue for various reasons. Legal issues, the big lobby, pharma lobby behind. That's what I personally think. The pharma lobby doesn't want you sick. You are the cash cow. This is my lived experience and opinion. A healthy patient is not a good client to the business. So the whole industry, and also legally for the doctors, attached to that whole system, incentives, setup structure, they are not legally from money incentivized to really heal you, to look into the deeper issue. It's standardization, speed, get things going, treat the symptoms. So of course, when my experience in going to the doctors, they don't know what to do with mysterious illnesses. Labels are not equal to understanding. They just label you with whatever. It's also a psychological self-protection mechanism for not telling you or not being honest in terms of, I don't have the time, I don't have the qualification, I don't really know what's going on with you. They need to justify it somehow, again, coming back to standardization, to put you into a sort of direction what you can do. And this, of course, before I didn't understand it, it totally frustrated me, because I was going to doctors. They tell me, yeah, here, go drink tea, go to the park, you're stressed, you're overworked, you have psychological issues, traumas, putting any sort of blame on me. Anyway, not to put too much blame on them, this is a world we live in. We still, and now I'm coming to the positive change, and what's changing today is we live still in the best time today. Let me check that my micro's on. Yeah, okay. We live in the best time in history today from educational perspectives, internet, information sharing. Private diagnostics and technology also exists. Information is available everywhere, and you can navigate this system strategically. Even if this implies that, of course, when you want to heal and you want to look into deeper issues, that you need to take money into your own hands. But possibilities are nearly endless. Also, when you don't have money in terms of knowledge, information, internet. As I said, my brief journey, personal journey, was diagnosed with multiple things, written off, immune dysfunction, inflammation. And then at some point, once I understood the system, and I was really afraid for my family, for my children, that I was going to get cancer soon, dying soon, I was obsessed with learning, understanding, getting into all the cell activation, all the mechanisms in the body, inflammation, root causes, brain, gut barriers, brain barrier, all these sort of things. So I took back control of learning. And I was obsessed, especially with cancer, how cancer evolves, how you can treat it, what you can do. Long story short is, from my point of view, again, I'm not a professional, but everyone has cancer in ourselves. It's a cell deviation, and our immune system cleans it up constantly. So every day, our immune system, our body is fighting and cleaning bad cells, while new cells or bad cells, depending on your lifestyle, on other things, genetic factors and so on, evolve again. So our immune system is incredibly smart, resilient, and can navigate itself. So that just in a nutshell, on a side note. But I navigated the whole public system, the private system, took things in my own hands. Also in my other videos, I did some blood cleaning a couple times. And it took me, I would say, with consistently working on my health, on my body, more than 2 years to heal. Doing various treatments, but especially consistent. Now I'm in the best shape of my life. It's incredible. Once you lose it and you're almost nearly dying in terms of health, once you recover it, how different you see life in terms of health is wealth. That I was able to regain it. This is my priority number one in terms of, I gotta keep it this way. This has my life priority. The rhythm, the consistent things in my daily life that I'm doing, I'm not gonna give up for money or anything else. Because health is a foundational layer. And once this erodes, and I've been there, I'm not going back to that. So now I'm in the best shape of my life. I have the highest energy, mentally clear, physically strong, mentally strong. I can get things done. Incredible. So, symptom relief versus root cause. Today, things that really help me, and you can do all of these things, and this is my key message. You can do sauna, cold showers, fasten, sports, nutrition dense, protein intake foods, omega-3, vitamin D, all sort of supplements, removing lactose, gluten, changing your diet, working on your gut, sleep optimization, insulin sensitivity improvement, stress reduction. You can do all of these things, and I'm telling you, probably if you do all of these things, 80 or 90% of your symptoms and your problems will disappear. But these, everything I just mentioned, optimize the system. They don't automatically fix the root cause. You need to fix, and the primary message is you need to find the root cause. Because if you don't know what the root cause is and you don't fix it, you are just treating the symptoms. And of course, what I just said, from sauna, cold showers, workouts, food changes, diet, and so on, that all helps. But if you don't know what's wrong with you, the problems will reoccur and come back to you. So root cause remains. If you don't fix them, symptoms return. What is root cause actually in deeper terms? Examples: chronic inflammation. Where does the chronic inflammation come from? From your brain, your gut, some certain tissues, organs, some injuries, some mouth, tooth injection, inflammation I had here not knowingly and not hurting in my mouth for years. Gut permeability. Is your gut in order? Microbiome imbalance. How is your bacteria in the gut? Viral reactivation, Epstein-Barr. You have something slumbering around that has never been really resolved, but it's some sort of chronic, slowly emerging, always ever coming back. Inflammation is somewhere there in the background. Autoimmune triggers. Is your sleep dysfunctioned? Do you have any lactose or gluten intolerance evolved or always had or evolved over time? Do you have chronic stress, traumas, things that bother you, high stress, insulin resistance, toxic loads? We are living in a world nowadays where health has less nutrition and more toxins. So you need to understand what is your root cause, what is driving the inflammation. You can take all the anti-inflammatory supplements, like I said, and helping restore your immune system, and that helps for sure, and I will keep taking them. Vitamin D, natto kinase, curcuma, omega-3, vitamin B, vitamin C especially. You can take all these things, but you need to find the foundation layer. What is wrong with you? And then once you have it, tackle it. Once you know it, trial and error, study, observe. One thing you need to understand is your body is giving you signals. Listen to your body carefully, and you will, by trial and error, understand what's wrong with it. Time by time. Trial and error, optimize getting there. You, with the knowledge and the personal responsibility that we can all take charge of and regain, you can take back control. With your own knowledge, with all the information that's out there, read studies, understand lab values. Especially, that was an important game changer for me. Once I understood lab results, blood values, I could re-question the doctors that I went to. Ask, can we check this as well? If you knew you have inflammation in some organs, you can, with extended knowledge, of course, reading tons of studies, you can back check, reverse engineer some results and say, okay, if this one is wrong, for example, if some certain values for the heart, the liver are wrong, let's dig a little bit deeper. Do more specific values to really understand if something is really wrong with that organ or it's just a side effect where the origin stems from somewhere else. So you can question labels, recheck them, revalidate them by doing other measures, and then step by step refunction and regain control and improve towards the right direction. Use online resources, use specialized doctors strategically. As I said, if you know there are certain private doctors and your public health system or your insurance provider wouldn't cover certain tests with you, and you are not doing good, but you have already understand and gathered some knowledge and information of how to potentially improve, keep studying and then take maybe potentially money into your hands and start getting some important labels, tests, blood results to start digging into what's wrong with you. Build your own understanding. Knowledge is leverage and is key. In my case, just to give you an example of the root causes, I was labeled with, as I mentioned, 100 different things, but my root causes were so immense, so diverse. I was trapped in a downward spiral, negative, drowning, toxic load. I mean, just to give you a couple of examples, I had a chronic inflammation here in my tooth, which I didn't notice because it didn't hurt. My gut was totally destroyed. My gut-brain barrier. I didn't have good bacteria in my gut at all, only missing the good ones, overload of the bad ones, fungus, whatever. Then what else did I have? Because of that, super bad sleep consistently, lots of brain fog. I developed histamine, gluten, lactose intolerance. I was eating the wrong stuff, not focusing on protein, dense, nutritious, dense food. And then, of course, all this together, I was loaded up with inflammation. Because of that inflammation, and my body was so overworked to just keep the system running, I couldn't get rid of any toxins. I wouldn't detoxify like a normal person. So I was getting sick way easier than the average person. So really just a downward spiral. That's why you start analyzing, you start processing, and then you get rid after one problem after the other. At the same time, in parallel, you keep re-strengthening your immune system, working out, taking supplements, fasting, proteins, workouts, and then slowly over time, you regain step-by-step control. Your sleep improves, and then you are breaking the downward spiral up to a positive spiral again. And this is how you regain control. More mental clarity, you pick up more, you can focus again, concentrate better. Your whole cognition, the way of thinking improves, your mood improves. It's an emotional upward spiral. You have more energy for your friends, family, beloved ones, and so on and so forth. Okay, not to make it too extensive. Practical healing framework for my stuff. After everything I just said, pretty much stabilize the basics, sleep, stress, remove processed food, protein-dense nutrition, insulin control. That are like the stabilizing basis after finding the root cause, of course. Absolutely important. So stabilize basics, then go on to reducing inflammatory load. Identify intolerances, improve gut health, reduce stress, remove triggers especially. I thought I was fine and not having any, to give you an example, not having any intolerances to food, was focusing on eating high nutrition dense foods like nuts, cashews, and awful. Always triggered something in me. Took me time to just identify these things I couldn't really reabsorb the nutrition from my gut, and it triggered a sort of allergic reaction, histamine reaction, and so on. Third, strengthen your immune system, slowly moving, progressive training, step by step. Even if you cannot do anything yet, you will get there. Start going for walks, take the stairs instead of the elevator, then maybe slight runs, slight workouts, and so on. Micronutrients, only if needed, if you have lack of certain nutrients in your system that you can also check. You can check anything today. Nowadays, if you go to labs, you can check the levels of toxins, what sort of nutrition your system is missing, how high in what certain area of your body you have inflammation, and so on and so forth. Also, definitely try around and play around once your body is able for that. Apologies. Play with cold and heat exposures is cold doing good for you, or heat, saunas, red light, infrared light, and so on. If tolerated, you get there step by step. Nowadays, look, I'm doing cold showers in the morning, occasionally saunas, red light therapies, and so on. You heal, you recover better, you sleep better. I mean, it's a vicious upward cycle. Investigate second last point, investigate deeper layers. What I said, labs, specialized testing, viral load, gut markers, hormones, metabolic markers. And then 5, optimize progressively, step by step. As I said, reality check is really healing takes time. It's a game of patience. Don't be impatient. For me, at least 2 years, I would say more, 2.5 years. Go back to my videos when I made them. When I did the blood cleaning, and that's also maybe a good anecdote, I was almost dying. The blood cleaning really helped me, was like a bazooka, but it didn't fix the underlying cause. Everything I just told you, the root cause wasn't fixed, but it relieved all the inflammation, all the toxins. It relieved me from that. So it helped me regain and stabilize to a better immune system functioning, at least for some extent. Healing is non-linear. Setbacks happen and they are super frustrating. But improvement is possible step by step. Even if doctors say incurable, I totally disagree. I think you can heal from anything, any sort of cancer today. We have everything in our hands. That's why today, nowadays, I mean, and not anymore at all, but even if I had today cancer, I would be so self-confident that I would be able to know exactly how to handle and heal from it. Just because of my experiences, understanding what you can do against cancer, what not, certain medications, certain supplements, certain sort of lifestyle, from fasting to sports, insulin resistance, sensibility restoring, and so on and so forth. Okay, guys, I'm coming to the end of my notes here. Closing for me is, this is all unscripted and compressed. I wanted to share that with you. It's impossible to share everything that I have in my head from all the details, angles in one video. I will break things down more progressively over time. As I said, I'm planning to do at least 1 video per week now. Don't be frustrated. Take the positive. You can heal, but you must understand and you must regain control, start learning, start understanding. Root cause first. It's very confusing in the beginning, but you can do it. Go to different doctors. Don't lose hope. Keep studying, keep symptoms checking. Everything builds on that. Once you have the root cause, you have done already 50% at least of the work. The rest is consistency beats perfection and patience. So this is it pretty much. I will keep you updated. Thanks for everything, and also for helping me in a way that I was able to speak to an audience here for you guys on YouTube, for me just to self-reflect and be there, and taking a lot of your comments back on. Don't lose hope. You have it in your hands. Also independent of money. You can always do something. Patience and consistency. Find the root cause, and then it's a game of patience and consistency. You can do it. Good luck. All the best to you, and keep you updated.